Today we're going to talk about something that we all love. Magic moments.
Magic moments.
Just like Dean Martin sang about.
My man, Dean Martin, magic moments.
No top 10s, just magic moments. It can be our own experiences or anything around Marbella. Magic moments.
The Marbella Way.
And that requires bubbles.
Bubbles.
Where do you want to start when we cover this topic that I think every single person loves?
So I think there's a lot to talk to and to add to magic moments in Marbella, because it literally happens every second, every day, every minute in Marbella.
And why in particular in Marbella?
Everywhere. You know, even, you know, when you are there, you feel like time is stopping.
Why?
You're in a little time loop. The time is happening so fast. You wake up in the morning and suddenly it's evening already. Even my kids say
Is
that.
it time?
It's already evening.
Is it a timeless place?
Yes. It's like Las Vegas. There's no watches.
But in Las Vegas, you're mainly inside.
That's true. But it certainly have some kind of similarities
Magic moments.
to magic moments.
Do you remember more lyrics from that song by Dean Martin?
Not that particularly song. No. But back to magic moments in Marbella.
So why not start with one of the biggest local stories, part of the local identity? It's a story about when the Saudi king Fahd,
yes,
came to Marbella with 500 staff, spent $90 million.
So we have to say, he hired 500 staff
Yes.
to fly in to Marbella
Yeah.
to cater his 3,000 guests who was invited.
He ordered 100 Mercedes limousines straight from the German manufacturing facility that came down
Yes.
and transported his guests around. So the budget every day was more than $5 million.
Yes.
And it's the only party that I've ever heard about in the history of the world, or at least the modern world, where all his guests got a wristband with unlimited cash. So they could buy anything they want in any shop.
And to have the reputation for that, of loving the luxury segment in Marbella. And people get quite excited about it every time they come, because it means to boost the Marbella economy, like this Marbella Way. They're boosting the economy.
Since it's, especially back then, quite a small place, now it's growing.
But
it
it's still
was
a small
something
place.
that the local shops could feel the, let's say,
Way.
good energy
Good
at that
energy.
time.
The economy of that good energy, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they
So-
have definitely the reputation of having some good, solid, fun parties.
So the reason we start with that, you know, that is in a way, it's a funny magic moment to start out with, but we want to talk about real experiences.
But I really want to add to that in the end of that party, they have spent $90 million.
Yeah.
Like they cannot say you're stingy, right, when you invite your friends. Like, come over and fly you in private jets and we buy you a
One thing that,
car.
of course, is nice because the wealth that a person like this has, there's something magical about sharing it and the stories that are generated based on that. And this is a local story that everybody who kind of know Marbella local history talks about.
Yes.
Still. So that was that definitely generated a lot of magic moments. What he did at that
And
time.
even like on top of that, the magic moment is that he have a copy of the White House as his residence.
Yeah.
Like that is quite something, right?
And then we need to add.
The White House in Marbella. Come on,
Yeah.
that is something.
Yeah.
That is a magic.
It must be
Whatever it
a tribute to the White House that he built a
Yes.
copy of it.
So a copy of it. You don't need to go to the US to see the White House. You can go to
And
Marbella.
then,
You cannot see it anyway because it's hidden.
And then now we talked about this amazing story in many ways. We should mention again the gazpacho story, that Juan Lo, the nephew of the founder, the king found out that his mother was a genius in making the right gazpacho. And actually, if you Google Spanish dishes,
And it's a cold
tapas,
soup, yes. It's a cold
this comes out as number one. It did so it's an important dish, and it's just very simple and amazing. So his mother was very good at making that the real way, the authentic way, the Marbella way. And that was delivered to the residents every week in containers because the king loved it. And as a present, he
to the
gave
White House.
to the White House. He gave him a big, nice, shiny Rolex watch.
With sapphires and
Yeah.
glitter and
There was no
jazz.
metal, hardly any metal on the watch. It was only gemstones. That's all. It was shining all the way. Probably had to cover it a little bit but
So they can actually become something good out of cooking, passion for cooking.
that was already 2 magic moments.
2 magic moments.
Can you give us one more example, please?
So what I like when we talk about Marbella is they have the yearly San Juan, which in Denmark we have similar thing, but we burn witches instead. It's like a little bit dark. But here you are putting up a big bonfire at the beach.
Yep.
And then you write something down you want to get rid of in your life.
Yeah.
And around 12 o'clock, you put that.
You want to let go of it.
Yes.
Some
you throw it
pain,
out
some experiences.
In the bonfire.
You write it down. The kids do it. Everybody does it.
Yes. You throw it out.
You throw it into the
in.
bonfire.
Yeah.
You let go of it. And then what do?
You basically take off your clothes, put your swimsuit on, and take a swim.
But before that, you jump over the fire.
Forgot about that.
It's important. You jump over the fire just to show your fearlessness. And then you jump in to the ocean to get purified.
But it's a big thing and it's a big party.
Those things that you wanted to let go of are gone.
And it was actually a dress-up party we went to at the Marbella Club, the MC Beach.
The MC Beach, which is a place you need to know.
Yes. It is the Chiringuito, which means the beach restaurant at the famous Marbella Club Hotel.
Yeah.
And they host this event every year, San Juan. And it's in June or July, I cannot.
I would say it's talking about magic moments.
And if you have kids, you bring the kids. There's a kids' corner, there's entertainment, there is whatever you want.
I would say experiencing that event for the first time was, I think, one of the most magic moments we had in Marbella. We were there, we brought our kids. We hadn't celebrated San Juan exactly that way before in Denmark, because it's totally different. So
that is definitely,
it was the Marbella way.
This is the Marbella way. So go to San Juan if you are in Marbella around summertime. Can you come up with another magic moments you can have in Marbella?
That will be pretty easy. Yeah. I will select another good magic moment from the treasure box. Ramos Paul.
Oh, yes. Ramos?
One of the most amazing places you can ever go. The hosts are so nice. They grew up in Andalusia. They know all about food and wine.
Nene and Pilar.
Nene and Pilar. Beautiful people. So we've experienced them. Not only they produce a fantastic wine, and we should mention about the wine that it's a complex wine that consists of quite a few different grapes.
And it's around 43 kilometers away from Marbella, which is like 20 miles. So it will take you around 1 hour.
Including Tempranillo, Cabernet Sauvignon,
the grapes.
Merlot, and certain other grapes. So it's a complex wine. It has a lot of depth and character. And it's in the region of Spain with most rain. It's in an elevated area, and just behind their estate, there's a Roman amphitheater.
Yeah, amphitheater.
Very special place.
And
so
it is out
I mean, when we
Maybe
talk
not
about
nowhere.
magic moments and we talk about Ramos Paul, which is approximately half an hour out of Ronda, the medieval village, one of the historic white villages. It's 1 hour away from the coast, north. I don't know where to start when we talk about magic moments, but there are definitely, at least, I'll
Because
start.
Marbella is one walk in the park happy moments. If you are looking for it.
And the great thing is that today, when we talk about magic moments, it doesn't have to be restricted to any area. This is all the Marbella way. Because when you're in Marbella, you don't mind driving 2 hours to ski. You don't mind driving 1 hour to play polo if you love polo. You don't mind driving 1 hour to be at the most cozy, amazing, beautiful winery I can imagine. There's so many things you can do there. So that's the Marbella way. That's why we talk about it. And we have no location restrictions because we're not describing areas or top 10 hotels. We're just talking about the magic of moments.
And definitely Ramos Paul is a magic moment to go to place.
And there are 3 things that I need to mention when we talk about Ramos Paul. One is the food.
One is the food.
It's so original, tasteful, and real, that food. And they just know exactly where to get the right ingredients in Andalusia because they are from there. So they grew up with it. It's a cultural thing. So the food and obviously the wine is amazing. It has 92 Parker points, Robert Parker. So that's a very high rating by the World Authority on Wine. Robert Parker. 92 points, and it's an exclusive wine. They only produce it in smaller, relatively small quantities, but it's sold worldwide, and they have fans worldwide, and people fly in. We saw last time Nene showed us on his mobile that Japanese came in 3 helicopters from one of the hotels, actually Villa Padierna, funny enough, where they have a helicopter pad, came in, took them about 10-15 minutes in a helicopter from the coast.
That's quite cool, right?
And they landed in front of their estate.
So
and
now
they came just to enjoy
kind of
the wine and the food.
That.
All the way from Japan. And they took a helicopter and they didn't have to worry about driving because they were flying up there.
He had to put a flag in because they're getting so popular, these trips, that he had to put a flag in so the helicopter know where to land. It's a thing now.
That's pretty cool.
So you can either drive or take a helicopter.
But I guess even from up there, it's not
win-win.
that hard to see where the winery is because you will see quite a lot of, structured fields where you can see this is wine down there. And then you can see a big, white, very, very beautiful, majestic building, which is their house, private house.
And they build it themselves.
They built it themselves. And it's a pretty big adventure back to the magic moments.
And if you look at that house, you will think, oh, it's a really old building, but it's actually quite new. It's not that old.
To break down the magic moments, the food, the wine, experience the wine cellar, the oak barrels in the basement. Beautiful, right? And those corridors, they were asked if there was a movie producer, they wanted to include it in the movie, and it was a very big movie. But they wanted to take out the barrels and restructure, and they said no, thank you.
Yes.
So this is the gem. This is their gem. This is probably one of the best, if not the best, but one of the best places to be in the world. If there is any there won't be any limitation. They will have enough wine and food, so he won't run out of wine.
It's not a bad place to have a lot.
If you've seen the amount of barrels in that cellar, you know that he won't run out of wine.
And what is precious about this place is that if you're very, very, very lucky, you will have Nene and Pilar. Nene will play the guitar, and Pilar would sing flamenco.
That was another magic experience moment that I wanted to mention. So thanks for bringing that up.
And
if they're always in a good mood. They're always in a good mood, but we cannot guarantee, because they do what they want, but we can't guarantee that. It's not like it's part of the gig to play and sing. it's not part of the package, but it could be if they want to. So I'm not
Really
gonna.
push the right buttons.
But we've been fortunate to experience that every time we were there. Even in their own amazing country kitchen.
Yes.
When Nene was cooking local mushrooms on a big paella pan on the fire. Huge pan with and the fireplace, wintertime, very nice wine on the table. They were playing and singing in there as well. So that's a place where you can easily end up in this huge estate.
But don't
By the way,
forget,
they have
no, you cannot forget to mention where you go in the barrels and you sit in the barrels and sing in there.
That's because they also believe in the sixth element. So there's a unknown factor to cultivating wine with a high vibration, with a high energy, and that is obviously the stream of consciousness coming from people with good energy.
That's why I think it's very, very popular.
So they believe, that singing, good experiences, magic moments increase the quality of the wine, and I totally believe that is true. It's
that's why they have over 90 points of Robert Parker. And you will not have a hangover the day after.
That's for sure, because it's so pure. There are no added, what do you call it, added chemicals, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
They don't add that.
No.
It's the real thing. It's only grapes from the barrel. That's it.
That is a truly
it's a very powerful wine.
Experience.
It's a powerful wine. You can actually even buy it. It's on the shelf in El Corte Inglés in Puerto Banús. It's there. You can find it there.
It's in a lot of wine shops in Andalusia.
It's a wine that's good for Christmas as well.
But it even have collaboration in the US as well.
Yeah.
So it's definitely getting around in the world, and which deserve 100%.
There is one other magic element I have to mention, and that is when we came.
You were so busy talking, I just think, how could you miss something out?
When we came, they just got a new dog, right? They had a nice dog before. We came, and it was a puppy, actually.
Great Dane.
But it's a Great Dane. And being a Dane, it's nice to meet a Great Dane. But it's not only a Great Dane, it's a great
It is a
Great
puppy
Dane.
that have more weight than me, like
It's
way more
it's the biggest dog that I've had a relation like that I know.
It feels like it's so small and it's like a pony.
It doesn't know that it's big. So it thinks that it's a small dog.
Yes.
So when it's under the table, the table is moving. And I remember it was playing with our daughter. She was about 7. And she was just lying on the ground. And it was just having fun. But she felt it was a bit overwhelming since it has the size of a horse.
It's a pony. It's like a pony dog. It's so huge.
Very, very cute dog, but it's very big. But I love the dog, and it's a beautiful dog.
Great Dane. Robert
Very
Parker,
beautiful.
Bodegas Ramos Paul. You have to look that up. If you are in
That was
Marbella
a whole
nearby
packet.
Ronda.
That was a whole packet of magical moments.
That was a big packet.
When you are in that oasis, in that paradise, in this little microclimate, away from everything.
And if you can say no to that, you're shameless. You have no shame in life to say no to such kind of experiences, because this is a real magic moment of Andalusian culture. Blending in with good wine and nice, nice people.
And the way they greet you when you arrive at the driveway, they come and greet you as family. And we got to meet their daughter, very sweet girl, who loves. She brought her boyfriend as well, and they love the place too. So we met the second generation, and they're totally inspired by what their parents do. And it was such a pleasure to. Actually, funny enough, there's a magical moment, another magical moment that now springs to mind.
Yeah.
And it's funny. It has to do with Ramos Paul as well, because one time you remember we went to this event in Puerto Banús with kind of exclusive luxury things.
Right.
And it was there was wine, and it was a bit windy that day.
Oh yes.
And I just got a new white shirt. And
no, it was not a shirt. It was actually a dinner jacket.
That's right. So there was a guy, very nice guy, by the way, super nice. And he was so friendly. He offered me a glass of very nice wine from Ramos Paul. And I was like, yes, please. And then it was, as mentioned, very windy. So I
Like
just
that whole
watched. It
bottle
was just
ended
like I
in
watched.
your white
It was just
distillery.
like watching a movie in slow motion. So I watched this red wine being poured in the wind, and it
Like, oh no.
all went on my jacket. And I was just, we just arrived,
And that poor man.
and it's
he
not
was-
like it was just like it's not. You just have to somehow, I don't know, either go home or at least take the jacket off, or because it was red wine all over it. Then another magical moment came.
It's still
because
hanging there
he
in
was
our
of
rare
course
pictures.
very embarrassed and I'm so sorry but it's just like no matter how much you apologize for something like that, your wine is there's still a lot of
Cannot
wine
make it up,
on your
right?
jacket, right? And it's not going to go off just with a wet tissue or something. It's not going off. So the Monday after, this was a Friday, I think, there was another magic moment. I came actually back to our office at the time, and the door, somebody knocked at the door,
Yes, and he was the delivery guy.
and it was
from
totally
work.
unexpected. It was just another
Expect the
reminder,
unexpected.
expect the unexpected.
Yes.
In came a new jacket, very nice one, by the way.
Very nice one.
So I was like, what? I didn't order any jacket. So the guy ordered a jacket, and he got it sent over to me, and I really didn't expect it, and it was actually a jacket that I really liked. So I was almost happy that he spilled red wine on
Forget
my
about
first
that on the
jacket. You know,
This is so much nicer.
that was so. Yeah, there's a lot of magic.
And which I actually think that it was a Luigi Spago jacket. Luigi Spago, which is actually a local designer, a fine Italian
He is
gentleman.
Italian.
He make cool menswear, like
Yeah.
suits, jacket,
Shoes
wow,
as well.
like wow,
Yeah,
super wow.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
Yes.
Italian handmade, Italian things.
Luigi Spago.
Luigi Spago.
Yeah,
Dinner
He's-
jacket from Luigi Spago.
yeah.
Local Marbella guy.
Magic moments. Dean Martin, Marbella.
That is definitely a magic moment.
What's the next
Do we have more magic moments? We have a lot of magic moments. We just have to dig them out.
So, where are we gonna dig this time? Are we going to the Christmas lights in Malaga, or what do you think?
There's a lot of things to dig into. The
Yeah.
Christmas lights in Malaga, it's a thing for, I think, the whole Andalusian culture. They spend millions every year on this beautiful event, and it is in the heart of Malaga. So something people will prepare for months to go to this event.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, let's go to the Malaga lights when everything is get started.
When
It's
they
like
turn on the Christmas
start
lights.
of the Christmas. And you will go there, you will see the Malaga lights, and say, whoa, amazing. And then you'll go out with friends to have dinner after. But it is a wow moment. It's not just like Tivoli. It is beautiful and very well thought of. So it's definitely a magic moment as well.
yeah.
And
Because it's different to be in Spain for Christmas than being in Denmark, where we are used to the snow and the cold weather, which makes the environment inside very cozy. And sometimes we have to admit we missed that being in Spain for Christmas. But then we found a different kind of magic in Spain, right? And this is definitely one example.
But also think that Christmas in Marbella start quite early. So you will have it from, I don't remember, like November, but to mid of January. Because you have the Three Kings before.
Yeah, which is big for
Yeah.
the Spanish people.
It's a big
we're
thing.
not
It's-
we're not
it's
used to
more-
celebrating that. That's
it's
at
more
the,
infused
that's
at
at the beginning of
Christmas.
January.
Yes.
And why is
think it's the
that
first
so?
week or second week of January.
What happens?
So what happened is this, the Three Kings are coming to give the Christmas present
Yeah.
to the kids.
Yeah,
And it's like, take
The three wise
Disneyland-
men.
Take Disneyland out of Disney and put them in the streets of Marbella. Everything is closed down. There's police escorts everywhere, but you will be there like 1 or 2 hour
but
entertainment.
one thing I love
and they will
about
pay. They will throw candy out to kids. Kids
That-
are going crazy. Even parents are coming.
and it's not like they have one piece of candy per child, right?
Like, it's like
It's like if
Bad.
you don't you
forget
will get
about
a
trick
lot
and
of candy
treats,
in your
okay?
face
Forget about trick and treat.
if you don't
This is
protect.
like
You know,
another
it's
level.
like
But even
tons of
parents
candy.
are going
and that's
berserk.
that's what I love. That's one thing I really love about the Spanish people, about Andalusia, especially the southern part. It's very passionate, right? Very passionate. When they do something, they do it all in.
They all
Whether it's a feria or it's throwing candy to
Party.
the kids
Always.
on Three Kings, it's a lot of candy. It's a lot, and it's a lot of people doing it at the same time. They drive around the city on horse wagons, or horse carriers. Yeah, and they have tons of candy, and nobody is not gonna have a lot of candy in their pocket.
And it's not only Marbella; it's the whole nation of Spain.
Yeah,
it's like in every single postcode, they will have this event. So it's not only a Marbella thing.
No.
But parents will go crazy. I remember the first time, like, a parent come with an umbrella and put it upside down because then he would catch the candy. I'm like, what is that?
I actually have there's a magic moment in that. The nanny we had once, our amazing Eileen, right? When our kids were too small to pick up the candy, they would just be kicked down or run over by teenagers, like attacking the candy on the ground. And our nanny Eileen, she was so protective and good at picking up candy for our kids. So she would pick up lots of candy and give it to them. That was nice. Before they were big enough,
that was very nice.
To do it themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about another magic moment because birthdays, are super big in Marbella. Kids' birthdays.
That's right. It's a topic we keep talking about, but it's a big topic.
It's
bigger than you
maybe
think.
I'm super excited about it.
It's bigger than you think. It's bigger than. It's not just.
Really excited about it.
There's a lot of things put into that topic. It seems like, but it's pretty significant.
And people are very big with these themed birthday parties. It's really a thing. Whether you're into
what is that?
Themed parties.
Oh yeah.
If you're into like Spider-Man or Michael Jackson or Willy Wonka or The Little Mermaid or Pirate Party or Cars Party.
Do you remember when we made Neverland?
Yes.
And every single guest of our guest, they got their own passes for Neverland.
Yeah.
And we had popcorns, we had candy floss.
Yeah, we had a hot dog stand, we had a bouncy castle. I think we have 3 bouncy castles.
We had a barbecue from one of the restaurants.
Yes. We have a popcorn machine.
The jumping castles.
Cotton candy.
The jumping castles on the, yeah.
It was just...
And of course, a lot of Michael Jackson music all over the place.
Michael Jackson cake, Michael Jackson music. We even, because one of our friends had a close tie to the Michael Jackson family, and
that's right.
The Jackson brother was in Malaga.
We almost got the brother.
We were so close. It's like, maybe
we
he's coming.
We almost got the brother into our event.
Yeah.
It was very close. We were in contact. So, but what a nice event.
That was a great birthday parties. And it's just one of the magic moments that you will find a lot of places because birthdays, kids' birthday, adult birthday, is really.
But that's another thing about the culture that when they invite for weddings, for example, when you do that again in Denmark, where we come from, you invite only your close friends and family. In Spain, everybody is invited. Everybody.
It's all or nothing.
So it's like 500 is going to arrive. Yeah. 500 people. So when we that was one thing. So that's why it's fun to actually, I cannot say me because you mainly did it, but arrange an event because it will be crowded. I remember once I counted 60 kids in the pool. 60 kids in the pool. So people will arrive. It doesn't have to be close friends. They may even bring their friends and everybody's welcome.
Right.
It's funny because it reminds me of there's a Filipino society in San Pedro. And that is, we know them quite well. We've been at some of their parties as well, that it's part of their culture that when you have an event in the Philippines, you can't say you're not invited. If you have food there, there's a buffet there, there's a party there, you are per definition invited. You don't reject anyone.
I'm totally buy into that mentality.
Food.
Like you're not invited to the wedding, but you just show up. Like, hey, I just feel like going to a wedding today. Do you know someone who has a wedding I can attend to? That is the Filipino culture.
That's the Marbella way.
It's totally good.
Because in Marbella, people do that as well.
You can always find something you can attend.
You don't have to qualify or you're second rate or third rate or whatever. There's a party, door is open. That's
crush it.
Mainly the mentality, right?
Yes.
So that it makes it more fun to arrange something.
Into how full mentality is.
So
everything is amazing.
We've had situations where people couldn't even enter the street where we live because it was packed with cars. We almost needed police or something to regulate the situation. But yeah.
That's one more.
So
of the magic.
To me, that's magic. That it's the generosity, it's the openness, the hospitality of the South. That's what part of what also attracted us to the South is that it's so warm-hearted, and it's not a culture based on excluding people.
But there's another thing I want to mention is there's a place called El Ancla, which is a beach club. And it's not a beach club as you will think with loud music. It's just a very elegant beachfront place. There is a salt water pool in the middle.
I cannot imagine that we haven't mentioned that yet.
And
we're already in
you
episode
can buy
5 or 6 or something.
or rent, you say sunbeds around, different kind of sunbeds. You can have lunch. You can start with lunch at by the pool or inside.
El Ancla is a must-go place.
And after your lunch, you can just, you just take over the sunbeds and you can stay the whole day there. And we did it many times with friends and family. So just, okay, let's just meet there. And everyone bring the swimsuit and it's very laid back. After like a nice dinner or nice lunch, you just hanging out the whole day.
If you talk about a classy beach club, that's El Ancla.
Yes.
And that is the place where you will...
I don't like to call it a beach club because to give the wrong vibration, but it's really...
But it's not a chiringuito. It's not a hotel. It's El Ancla.
It's El Ancla.
San Pedro, beach side.
Yeah, so look that up if you're going to Marbella.
El Ancla.
El Ancla.
Ancla, A-N-C-L-A.
And it's again, we're talking about the melting pots between adults and kids because there's a kids club as well. And it's not like, then it's like noisy with kids.
Now that we talk about El Ancla, there is one amazing dish I have to mention, which is a must try.
Lubina al Sal.
Correct. Lubina al Sal.
And what is Lubina al Sal?
It's Lubina in English is...
Yes. Wait. Wait.
I'll have it in a... It's not the cut.
No.
We'll have it in a second. It's okay. Anyway, it's Lubina. Seabass. Okay, so
you have a
Lubina al Sal
big sea
is one. I can't imagine a more fantastic way to cook a fish.
Right.
So they literally.
It's like if you like a steak, you will love Lubina al Sal. It's like a more finer, refined version of a steak in a fish dish.
So what they do is they put a lot of salt on top of the fish, so it's packed in salt.
So I know exactly how much salt you need. You need like at least 3 kilos because I made this many times before.
So it's
you buy
baked.
1.5 to 3 kilos of salt.
Yeah. So it's like it's baked. It's baked. So it gets very.
You pour it on top of the fish. 1 to 3 kilos of salt on top of the fish.
It's packed in salt.
And you
then when it's been in the oven, they break the salt because it becomes hard.
You break it with a hammer.
Yeah. So, and then they take the fish to the table, and you will not find one bone in the fish because they will prepare
the
pieces of fish for you. And the way they do that is the Marbella way.
This is the Marbella way.
The Andalusian Marbella way.
And they have different kind of sauces to it.
Don't miss that dish if you go there.
No, and it's everywhere you get that dish.
Not everywhere.
At the best chiringuitos, beach restaurant.
But it is
a traditional dish.
It's definitely it's
if it's a
dish
very good
they have on
place,
the card
they will always have
on a high quality chiringuito, high quality beach restaurant.
Yes.
They will have it.
With reputation, with a respect for themselves, they will always have that dish on the card.
And now that we have mentioned that, I do need to mention the other fish that there's quite a few fish dishes. Bocarones, which is also the sweet nickname for a child born in Marbella or Malaga, actually.
Malagueños.
Bocarones is what they're called, small fish.
Right.
So those cooked, they are quite nice as well. Then there's another one where you see these boats where they convert an old fisherman boat into a kind of a barbecue, natural barbecue, and you see when they put those fish on a stick. Do you remember what fish that is?
It's either sardines and anchovies.
Sardines, I think it's sardines. Yeah,
you can do different kind of fish.
That's one thing that that qualifies for a magic moment. When you go for a walk on the Paseo, the beach promenade between Puerto Banús, Marbella, there are, just to let everyone know, this nice beach promenade more or less actually is existing it from all the way from Estepona to Malaga with very few holes. So the whole strategy, the whole plan is that it's going to be consistent from A to B, which is like a...
But even many times when we go out, we don't even have a reservation. We just, okay, play by heart. Let's go there today.
Yeah.
You can almost every time have a place.
But I just want to say that if you're going for a walk, you're passing by, then there's this smell, this nice smell. When they cook this fish, it's something that could easily draw you into the restaurant if you pass.
There's one more to the list. So visit one of these places.
Yeah.
When you are in Marbella and you are just have a beach walk or stroll at the beach, definitely a pop into place, one of these places. Put everything in the link. And I actually like the spontaneous, for me, this is like the magic moment. Spontaneously, the spontaneous moments. That is also the Marbella way.
Very much. And very much because the whole place is characterized by people. Now, of course, the Spanish population has they have normal jobs. They drive the cars, they are waiters, they have local businesses. So let's just say in average, that's 50% of the population in and around Marbella. Those people are the Spanish backbone. That's the cultural backbone of the place. But all the foreigners, wherever they come from, they are there for the lifestyle. They're there to enjoy everything. But of course, to be able to do that, you normally have to have some kind of business backing that up somewhere. So luckily, people can do that they can fly back and forth, they can work online. So that's another part of the story. But the fact is, the whole place is about lifestyle, enjoying life. So it's just it's a mecca of nice offerings that you can do in the place. So magic moments, we did touch a few.
I have so much more.
We have
but
at least
we have to go
10 more episodes to do on that.
So let's just end this way in the magic moment.
Yes.
Cheers to magic moment.